Hello, I'm Sam Crow. I'm coming to you from my craft room. Hi, I'm Sam Crow. Hello? Oh. Doesn't work, does it? What? It worked before. So hello again. I'm now on my iPhone. I'm going to give you a really quick tour around my craft room. It's a little bit... I'm just testing my video. I wonder what it looks like if you can see my other camera here. Let's see. What you're telling this morning was saying about all these people who are doing YouTube and lives on Facebook, and I want to do some of them, but I'm a bit nervous of doing lives really. I don't know why. I've done some before. I think it's that thing, what if nobody joins you? It like, oh, you'd feel a bit weird, wouldn't you, if no one joined you on a live Facebook. So I thought I'll do YouTube first and then think about that. So I thought during this COVID-19 season, why aren't I doing videos? People are always asking me for videos. Why aren't I doing it? So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to get myself in the flow for crafting. So I'm Sam Crow, like I say, and I hope you'll join me. And I'm going to post lots of videos, not just about gel plate though. I'm going to do all sorts of things. So less of the gab, except to say this is my craft room. Welcome to my craft room. Hi, I had to cut a chunk of my video out here. So basically what I'm doing, I've just got my gel plate out. I'm deciding what colours I'm going to use. And I'm just explaining why I'm picking the colours I am. I went for the green and pink in the end because I thought they were nice, bright colours. So, right, so let's get some of this lovely blue in. Turquoise. Let's just mix these up a bit. I don't often just put my colours all over, but sometimes it looks gorgeous and you have to. So some people only do that, and I think, well, do they not get fed up with that? But then they come up with gorgeous prints, so why wouldn't you? So I do like very symmetrical stencils and pattern. This is one of my favourites. It always looks nice. So I'm going to mix this in with one of Leonie's stencils. So let's get that there and down there. Now there's nothing in the middle there, so we'll come back to that. So I'm going to pick this up. Let's go for the full print. There, that's nice, isn't it? But it's very all over the place. I would come back, I would do a print that would seep into the background. This is where I'd get the translucent inks out, or paints. Something that'll sink into the background. So if you've got too much pattern in that, you don't know what to do with it, but you can actually just, with the sponge, just sponge white paint over it. I use a Paper Artsy white paint for that. Snowflake. Because if you blend it with a sponge over something like this, it almost becomes translucent, but what it does, it mutes all this down. Then if you take a photocopy of that print, you've got a beautiful background all the time. You can keep using. So I'm just going to bring this in. I'm not going to put anything in it. I'm just going to pick it up. See how it warms it up. Warms it up. Going to come here, right? Warms it up. Can you see that? And then you can go again. So then you could come in with your stencil, and you could blend through when it's all dry, or ink through, or just cut it up and stamp on it. I do love to stamp in paint. I'm just going to warm up the edges first though. Limelight, lovely colour. See, this is it. We have all these like paints with tiny bits of paint, tiny bits of paint in the bottom, and you hate to chuck them out. So this is why I'm thinking, right, on my gel plate, I'm going to use up all my old paints, and then I can restock on the colours that I like the best. So this time I'm going to add just a little bit of pattern in here. And I'm going to pick it up along the edges here. I'm just touching that edge. There, look, it just gives you the hint. There, that's not very pretty, so I'll pick it up there. There you go. So I think that'll do, except I'll take, I don't want a white edge. just picking up bits even there. There you go. So that's ready to stamp on, right? But let me show you with the white paint what I mean. I keep picking up the metallic glaze, right? Put that back. White and black paint is always something that's actually quite hard to get hold of. It like a really good one. That's not too runny or wishy-washy, or sounds odd, doesn't it? But same as black card. Isn't black card like decent black card hard to get hold of? The same thing with the paints, I find, and I always come back to Paper Artsy Snowflake White. It's beautiful for doing things like this. Right, so watch. I'm gonna tap it on and tap it off. And I'm just gonna come, like, I'll show you on the pink bit here. This is annoying me, okay? So watch. You see what it does? It takes it right to the background. If you're doing like, what do I call it, scrapbooking sheets and that, this would be perfect then for stamping on. And this gives you a fantastic surface for stamping on as well. I could actually start coming back in with some new gel prints as well, but more thought out and that, you know. And this will disappear more. It'll disappear more. So any ugly bits, I'm just going to put them on there, because then I'm going to come in with my stamps. I've just launched some stamps on Achanda TV, and they've sold really well, and I'm really chuffed. So I'll get them out as well to show you. So there, look. See how that mutes it right down? When that's dry, that'll mute it even more. But as a stamping base, that'll be fantastic. You'll get some really deep black prints there. So I'm going to quickly do that just to show you how I would stamp that up. I'm going to cut it up as well. I wouldn't use it like that, would you? We wouldn't, would we? So I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to make it like an art, what I call an art card. That's about half there. Look at that. I'm getting really good at guessing these measurements. I can't see that, so I just guess it instead. Right. So which one should I use? Let's use this one, because there's not really anything standing out at all, which is what we want. It is a background print. So let's use this one first. And then I'm going to do some stamping off the gel plate, I think. Or should I do some blending first? Oh, this is a Clouty stamp stencil. It's one that comes from the Clouty Stamp Club. They have a monthly club. So I'm going to come in with this, and I'm just going to blend over with one of the paints for now. And then I'm going to stamp on. So what should we go with? I want a fairly muted colour, but it needs to stand off a little bit from this. So let's stick with this pink then. So I'm going to do a bit halfy, I think. So where's that sponge I had? That's my white one. Never use your white one for another colour. Right, okay, so this had orange on, but let's just tap that off. It's dry now, so I'm just going to pick up the pink. I don't want the full thing. I'm going to, because I want to finish it with my stamp, so let's just get a hint of the pattern. And once you dab it down like that, you can just actually blend it, look. It's great blending, look, see. Blend a bit up here. You just blend with these paints the same as you would with ink. Once you've got, you obviously have to dab a bit off first, or it'll be too much. So I'm giving like a pathway, like a 1, 2, 3. We always do a 1, 2, 3, don't we? So there you go. So that adds a little bit, and I'll have a little bit coming off the edge here. There you go, and then a little bit up here, just a little bit. Then that kind of evens it out. So then I'll decide now which way up is my card. I think it's going to be that way, because it's an art card. So I'd send it as a piece of art for someone, but I'd put a sentiment on, or if it just did it for itself completely, I wouldn't put anything on the front, and I'd put the sentiment inside. So I'm starting to think of that way a little bit. It's got more direction towards come this way and open my card, hasn't it? And there's even your little button to say, so where you open the card, you could actually put Brad in there, couldn't you? So, right, so I'm going to leave it with that, and then I'm going to get my stamps out. So these are, there's 4 sets of my stamps. I'm not selling them, I'm just telling you what I'm using. This is what they look like when I get them. But they do look a lot neater than that when you know, when people buy them. So, it's lots of different shapes. There's lots of different shapes on these stamps. They're all my little doodles. And there's circles, there's squares, there's all sorts. And I love them. I wanted them. I wanted to do doodles. I didn't want to have to keep repeating the same doodle. So, when we brought out with stamps, that was great because I can just keep using them over and over again. So, I'm going to pick a few of my favourites out. Well, they're all my favourites because I made them, obviously. So I'm just going to use a nice, thick, deep ink pad, black ink pad, VersaFine. Although it gets everywhere, it does do the job. It gives you a really nice, deep print. So I'm thinking, I want something that really, really stand out. So I love these. I love the edge ones. I love doing an edge with them. It looks really good. So, right, let's just come in. Let's just start. And then I'll make it up as I go along, as I always do when I'm crafting. So, can you see? I'll just check you can see the full thing. Yeah, there you go. Now, see this? Now I've used this stencil. It's been sat there for ages and I keep thinking, oh, I love it, get it out, and I haven't had a chance. Now I've used this. This will be going on my gel plate a lot because this is a gorgeous pattern. And it's enough to give you, to fill your space without overpowering it. Do you see that certain stencils just do that for you? Like this one, for instance, that's why I keep coming back to this one. You can't make it look ugly with this, almost, you know. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp. I'm going to do a full edge at the moment. I might change my mind. So I'm going to start here. I might change my mind when I get here and stop, see. So let's have a go. So I'm going to stamp this. Doesn't have to be fully on. And then I'm going to turn it. And then I'm going to stamp it. I want them closer together actually, but never mind. Because I haven't got a stamp block, obviously I'm blocking my view with it. So I'll stamp it and turn it. So down here I'm going to bring in a different one. I'm going to bring in this one. I love this. I do little circles a lot in everything, with paint brushes, with pens, with everything. So I'm going to bring this. Let me test it on the back. Do I want it all the way or do I want it coming off the page? I think I want it coming off the page a little bit, and I'll keep turning it. So I'll do that more or less full because that's a big white space, and then I'll turn it so they look different every time. So I'm turning it again. Can you see what I mean? I'm turning it so it doesn't look like it's the same stamp every time. I'll bring some in, I'll take some back. I'm still turning it, and then I'm going to leave that because I'm going to even that out. I'm a very symmetrical person, I can't help myself. So I'm going to use this one. Or actually, no, I'll look for... See this one with the dot in the middle? Now that would be perfect there. It's almost like you're picking up a handle, isn't it? So I'm just going to look... There you go. That's the one I'm looking for there. Right. So there you go. So that's almost like a handle. I will put a brad in there and make it look like... So now I'm thinking more... Instead of card, more like a notebook front cover or something. As you decorate things, you start to see them in different light, don't you? So I'm going to do the similar to that, but I'm going to use a different one. I want a more chunky one along the bottom, so you know it's the bottom kind of thing. This one. So see... Here you got thin lines, there you got thick lines. I've used paint on here, but you know what? It doesn't matter because the ink sticks really well to the paint. It gives you a really good print. So I'm going to come in. So I'm being symmetrical. I'm going to start with that facing the same way, even though I'm using a different stamp. Because now I am thinking this is going to be a notebook cover or a journal book cover, because it's just pretty to look at. but I'm not sure it would make the front of a card. I think when you do a piece of art, it kind of talks to you. It tells you what it wants to be in a way, if that doesn't sound too daft. And again, see, I'm turning this different ways. So, doesn't that look like the front of a book now? It's already, the stamping's done it. You've got the lovely background. Then the stamping's directed you. Look, it's got a handle. You open it. It's a book cover or something. Do you see what I mean? So you can do that, you know, you can do a lot of that with stamping. You can direct what people think it is. If I'd done my stamping across there, right, and then a bit up there, and then I edged it here, people would automatically think, oh, that could be a journal cover because I'd put the text there, or oh no, that's a card because then that gives you. I'd put a flower or something there. Where you stamp and where you do your gel prints, it dictates to you what people think it is and what you think it is yourself. So, yeah, just a little. I think so anyway. I think so. So there you go. So we've got that. So let's do a different one now. Okay. I'm still going to use this stencil. I'm still going to use the paint and everything and my stamps. I'm going to give it a different direction. Okay. So, right, here it is. So, right, so let's do this. Right, so there you go. It's going to look like it's a card. Okay. So I'm going to bring this down here. I'm going to do the full pattern across here, which is a shame because I've already got pattern there. Let's do it across this bit here. So I'm picking what I call the ugliest bit of the print. Sometimes they look ugly until you finish them off, and that's just the truth. There's no point pretending they don't. So I'm going to do the same with the sponge. I don't know if you can see my gel plates in. I'm just doing that again, and I'm just going to blend through. And I'm going to use the edge of the stencil because I want a finishing point. And I'm going to do the whole of the bottom of the card. There you go. See? So, straight away, it's looking different, completely different, isn't it? So let's, with the stamping now, let's edge that. So I'm going to use, this thick stamp. I'm going to get my acrylic block so I've got more control. And I'm going to edge it. And what I'm going to do, see this? I'm going to bring this in so it's like, so it's coming down into it like this, okay? So. Starts going too low, it's all right. Just do a few high, a few low, make it look like it's meant to be like that. But you can, because these are see-through stamps, you can actually come back in and adjust that. See, I did that. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. There you go. And then my starter one. So that's okay, because that's it goes like that. So now I'm going to just pick the single line off this stamp and come down here. And I'm going to join it up if I can, but make it look joined. You see what I mean? Can you see? You can see it's joined. I'm going to do the same here. Of course, need to start there, don't you really? I don't want it to look as joined as it was. I want it to look a bit more higgledy-piggledy. So then I'm going to bring it across here. I'm going to section this whole bit off. Obviously, I need a bit of paper under there. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit. I want this line to show here, okay? So I'm going to, which way am I going to do it? I think I'm going to bring it back to this bit here, but I'm going to overlap slightly, just ever so slightly on there. Right. I mean, after all, why do we make gel prints? Because we like to then stamp or stencil on top of them, don't we? I love stamping. There. And you see, now we've got a little square. And that gives you the frame. Now what's that tell you? Oh, right, this is at the moment still probably a book cover, because you're thinking I'd put a title there, or it could be the front of a card, okay, at the moment. So let's make it. I mean, any of these can be used as cards. The what I call art cards. You can send people a little piece of art, and then, you know, just add it to a proper card and make it into a card. But then I would put some sort of verse, like, I make verses up, like happy memories of golden sands of ice cream, chips and tea. But most of all, my darling, happy memories of you and me. So there you go. That's one of my little poems I use. So just like a little verse, to make one up. Have a go at making a verse up yourself. I look at a piece of art and I get triggered with thoughts and verses, or sometimes it's a one-liner, sometimes absolutely rubbish, so don't get me wrong, but sometimes they're usable. So I think art does trigger things in your head. It does get you thinking. This is why it's nice to switch off. Don't think about, oh, who's this going to be for? At the moment, I'm still just decorating this for me and to show you how I would go through the process of decorating something. And that's what I do. I'm not a card maker. I don't see myself as a card maker. I'm a decorator. I like to decorate surfaces. So whether it's a wall, a box, or a piece of card, I'm a decorator. I'm not a card maker. And this is why I love the gel plate, because it allows me to be that. If I just sat here and tried to make you a really beautiful card, it wouldn't be a really beautiful card. Okay, so this is me, and this is why I like mixed media. This is why I like to mix all my mediums up, my tools, to just make pieces of art that bring out things in my head and visions and colours and you know, I get ideas from it. So, you know, for me, right? So so now I'm going to use a stamp that makes you think. You need to put some words there, okay? So this is what I call my word stamp. And it'd be nice to have a bigger one of these as well as this. So when you stamp this, you just feel you've got to put a word in, okay? So I'm going to put a few, okay? See what it's like. If I put one in the middle, that's telling you this is a notebook, isn't it? You see that? Oh, that's a notebook cover, isn't it? Or a journal. You see the word journal. But that's not what I want it to be at the moment. So I'd like it to be, but I want to change it just to see if I can. You know, I'm testing the waters here. So I'm going to put the word up here. And then I'm going to turn this round and I'm going to have a word here. And then I'm going to have a word going this way. Because what I want to do, I want to change the artwork around. So I'm going to have it... Now if I have it there, you got that gap and it looks odd. If I put it there, it runs off, but I think it works. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to stamp it and I'm holding this here and I'm just going to stamp up to those lines. I don't want to go over them. Didn't quite work. I wanted it to look like it's coming off under that. There you go. So, and then I'll have one coming in here. Like this. And that one can run over the lines. That'll be all right. And then... I'm going to have one coming down here. I am a very symmetrical person, I can't help myself. So what that does, that brings this into there. See, now it doesn't look like it can only be a journal cover or a notebook page now, does it? It looks different. So, do you love making stationery? Because I do. Just book covers and things, or things that could be used like that. So now we need to bring this in. So I think we need one of these lines coming down, or maybe this line. So I think I might spoil it here, but I'm going to try this line down here. It might be too much though. Might be. Do you know what? I'm going to just blend. I'm just going to blend with the ink. So let's have a go. I want a dark ink. I'll just get my inks out. Got this beautiful Wild Bilberry artistry ink. This is one of my clarity stamp ones. So I love these. So I'm just going to blend with this. I'm going to start in the pink. I'm just warming up the ink there with my sponge. Keep it moving, keep it warm, and just bring it in at the edge like this. Some more. They're quite juicy, so you do have to keep filling it up a little bit, but they last forever. So I'm just going to bring it in. I'm lifting my sponge up, look, so I don't come right in. I just want to catch the edges, and you can feel it catching the edges. And then if you think it looks nicer coming in a little bit, we'll do come in a little bit on one of the bits like there. See, that looks nice, doesn't it? So I'll just put a bit more on, because I want it quite a lot. You've got to be careful. If you go too much in, it can start to look a little bit ugly if you're not, because it's going over like a yellow paint and that. It can sometimes do the opposite to what you want it to do. So I'm just going to do these edges as well. Just going to bring it in a little bit here. I don't want to lose that white, so I'm leaving that as much as I can. There you go. Sorry about my phone. One of my phones just keeps... I'm getting messages all the time from different things, and then I go to look and I can't find where they've come from, so it's a bit confusing. Right, so can you see it's starting to be something else again now? So this here, I'm not going to do anything else with that. That is going to be as it is, unless something drastic changes up here, okay? But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some of, I use these clouty word stickers all the time, because they're just dead easy. They're dead easy to just peel off and put in. So, and they fit great in these. So let's have a look. Oh, there you go. One just sitting looking at me. Look, time for reflection. Certainly is that, isn't it? So that's going to come down here. See, straight away, sometimes you just know where you're going to put something. I'm going to cut this edge off. Now we've got a lot of pattern and colour going on here, so I'm just going to keep this white, because something has to jump off this page, doesn't it? I'm going to try not to touch it too much with my fingers. I have time for reflection there. Actually, that should be that way, because... Never mind. Yeah, it would just flow better if I turned it the other way, so I'll leave it for now. I could put some black ones in. Let's see what a black one looks like. Keep it simple. I could hear Barbara Gray's voice there then, because that's what she says all the time. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, Sam. That's what she says. Keep it simple, Sam. Okay. Oh, all these. See, you look at every one of these and they all seem to have the right saying on them. So I'm going to have... I think I need, yeah, I'll put that there, give time, and then I want a white one. Or do I want a black one? So you get them in black and white, actually, they're really good. Live life in colour. My stomach's rumbling here. Right, okay, so... That's going to go there, okay? I'll chop the end bit off. Chop the end. And this. I want it to fit within this stamp. Yeah, definitely could do some bigger ones of these as well for putting words in. If you were listening, Barbara, if she happened to be watching. Right. There. So I'm going to swap this now. And this is a good thing there. You can remove these, which is perfect for me. I'm going to put that one down there. Keep it simple. I'm going to put that. Does it flow better that way? No, it needs to come in. It needs to be facing the card. Keep it simple. Put that centered. Isn't it funny how we get gel plate out, we mess it up and we do grungy stuff, and then we're really particular about things like this, aren't we? I suppose it's the finishing touches, isn't it? The finishing touches matter.
I'm going to put this edge off. I have to be careful because the white ones don't stay white very long for me if I don't get them down straight away. There you go. So then a black one. No, a white one here actually. I want one that's got a bit of an impact just at the end of the word because that's all you're going to see is the end of the word, so there you go, be safe. That's going to go in there. Put this edge off again. I don't normally put the edges off, but I'm trying to make them fit in where you can see enough of the word. So put that on the back there like that. And then I would just bend that under like that. Oop. And see, it's not white anymore. Right. I'm just going to bend the card and then stick them down.
Right, there you go. So I would say that's done. So this could be used now as an art card. It could be used as a notebook cover. It's not going to be a piece of art you put on the wall, is it? Obviously not. But definitely could be made into a card, I think. Because you know, you decide what sentiments you want on there and that, you know. I always do my cards a little bit too big, so I end up using a lot of black card. But I like a certain size to play on, really. But you could make it smaller. You could make it the size of a card. So there you go. So that looks nice sat on the black there, doesn't it? Yeah. And then you've got this one that I would use. I'm always making myself little notebooks. I would use this as a notebook cover. And like I say, I would put a little bird in there. I'd have something interesting on the back. Obviously, I'd back it with something interesting. And then I'd just put my little hole punches in there and make it into some sort of little book. And I like that. I love that. And I love that. So there you go. 2 price 1. So there you go. What did we do? We had a workout session, quite a long one. I might have cut this down by the time we get to this bit. And then you can get to a finished result. You pick your favourite prints and then get your stamps out, decorate it, and you can get to your finished results. And I think I'm quite pleased with them. Nice little mixed media front cards, notebook covers, whatever you want it to be. So it'd be great if you'd like and subscribe down below, and it'd be great if you go to my Facebook pages and join me there as well.